Season 18 of The Voice is chaos because we've added a coach who's kind of I think taken us all a little bit off guard. Nick Jonas has come in and he's got this aura about him, and he's kind of a quiet guy, but he's a killer in the blinds, and it completely changes the competition into a different dynamic. You know, my initial thought when I heard Nick was going to be joining us as a coach, I knew he would be great at it because, I mean, here's a guy who's basically grown up in the spotlight, and he's had success as a band. He's had success as a solo artist, as basically somebody who's been in the public eye at a high level for a long time, and that's what you look for in a coach. I think when you audition for this show, is somebody who's had a ton of experience at a lot of different things, who's seen a lot of different things that can happen in this business, and I think he brings probably as much experience to the table as anybody, and he's still basically just a kid himself. I don't know how they do it. This is season 18, and the level of talent that continues to audition for this show, they continue to come out of the woodwork, and it just blows me away that these artists are undiscovered, and thank God they give us the chance here. You know, as always, I'm always on the lookout for a great country singer, but I don't always find that in these blind auditions, and so at the end of the day, all I really do is just hit my button for anybody that I think is great, or that I can imagine hearing on the radio, or even more imagine that they have the kind of voice and style that could win this show. You know, you can't really listen for anything other than talent whenever you're sitting in these blind auditions, because you can't see the person. You don't know what they have going on there, whether they're a dork or they're the coolest looking person in the world, or ugly or beautiful. You have no idea what's going on back there behind you. A lot of times you don't even know if it's a guy or a girl. So that's what makes this show so great, is because it begins with somebody's talent. You know, the vibe for this season has been it's been a lot of fun, because we're trying to figure out Nick and what his angle's going to be, and should we jump in there with him? Is he beatable as a coach? I mean, we're learning all this stuff as we go, and you'll see that in the blind auditions, and I think it makes for a lot of fun. You know, Kelly's still up to her old tricks. I think the artists who audition for this show, who watch the show, they're kind of on to her, though. She has a little tougher time this season getting people on her team than she's ever had before. In fact, there was a day or two she was starting to get depressed, which made me very happy. And John, as always, I mean, I don't know what it is about that guy. He never really has to compete that hard to get people on his team. But with Nick here, he gets humbled a few times. I'm a coach on this show to get a chance to, continue to learn for my own craft. But at the end of the day, I want to win this thing. I want to see one of the artists that I work with win that trophy. That's what they pay me to do, and that's the job that I take serious. You know, there's no question about why this is America's favorite singing competition. It's because it's based on somebody's voice. It's called The Voice for a reason, and it all begins with the talent somebody has, and with how great or not great their voice is. And based on that, and that alone, is why they make it onto this show.
We've got Nick Jonas this season, and I'm excited and not excited, because I know we're going to turn for the same people, but he's super talented and kind of a breath of fresh air, so I'm excited about it. Season 18 is pretty exciting because, well, one, Nick Jonas is here, and it's we've never had anybody that young come on, and so it's kind of been fun with all the talent, that season 18, like who they're going to go with. It literally, I think this is the season that has shocked us the most of where people landed. We think they're going to go somewhere, and then they totally picked a different coach. So this is the most shocking season of who lands where. This season, I have been begging for a couple genres to enter this show, and since I've been here, and this season, somebody came out singing some opera, and I was very excited. You know, every season I feel like such a, broken record, but I always just want versatility. I mean, I think that that's what we need with art. You don't want the same thing over and over again. So I always want a variety. And if I hear someone that I love and I already have people on my team that are kind of that vibe, and, they're kind of a similar, level of good, so I don't turn because I want to make sure I get a lot of different variety on my team. John is so annoyingly good at this. Obviously, Blake is too. He's won more than anybody. But John is like, anytime he turns, I mean, you just have to come with everything possible to beat him, to win people on your team. Because he's John Legend. It's in the name, people. Blake, there's a reason why he's been around since the beginning and he's still here because he's super charming. He does care about his artists. He helps them afterwards. I mean, he's a threat, obviously, to all of us. The only reason why I'm not as threatened by him this season is because all the other ones are joining with me to go against him. So, use that block. I personally hope to gain out of this season of The Voice. I have a couple artists on my team that I've never had that kind of vibe on my team before. So I am pretty excited about just showcasing all there is to singers. Like, we have a lot of different genres of music going around, right? And we don't always get to showcase all those genres on the show, depending on who, the crop of talent that season. So this season, there's a wide array of everything going on. I think people love this show, and the reason why it's been around so long and it's the number one show like every time is because people love to be a part of it. They love to be a part of the process. They love the blinds because it kind of brings back to, video killing the radio star. It's just, you're just listening. You're just enjoying the sound of what you should be doing with music. And so it kind of brings it back to the fundamentals and the basics of being a singer. And I think people are really into that. They love being a part of it. And if people are going to turn and, I know people that tell me they close their eyes at home and they listen and see if they're going to, if they would turn their chair. So it's exciting for everybody.
It's an exciting new season of The Voice. We have a new coach, Nick Jonas. We're trying to show him the ropes without letting him defeat us. So it's interesting. We're training him, but not too well. I remember what it's like to be the new guy, and now I'm not the new guy anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how Nick does. I love Nick as a person, as an artist. I just feel like he's just a really good human being. And he's a really talented artist, and I felt like him being on the show would be really cool for the show. Plus, he has a lot of fans out there, so that can't hurt. Season 18 really has an interesting group of artists. I feel like more of them are singer-songwriter types. A lot of them play their own instrument, and I think that's really exciting for me. I'm excited to work with some of those artists on my team. I just listen. That's all we can do. We're blind to their audition. We don't know what they look like. All we do is listen and try to hear special voices. And the voices I find special are ones that feel, I don't know, they give me chills. They feel like real artists to me. They feel like they have beautiful tone and also precision and control. I listen for all of those things, and I turn around when I get excited. We have a really good rapport between the three of us, Blake, Kelly, and me. We've been together for a couple seasons now, and we make each other laugh. We pick on each other. We try to block each other occasionally. We fight a little bit, but it's all in good fun. I get to sit next to Blake, and he makes me chuckle a lot. He's very funny, very charming. He also lies a lot, not necessarily to me, but definitely to the artists when he's pitching them. I've gotten used to it, though, and I try to warn them. I try to warn them that he's a liar, but a lot of times the kids, they don't understand. And they still pick him. I don't know what it is. Kelly she's just lovely. Obviously, we always talk about how chatty she is, and she does like to talk, but she has so many great ideas. She understands how to be a great coach, and she's obviously a really, really great singer. I want to win. I want to win again. I love working with talented artists. I love mentoring them. I love being surprised by them, and I'm excited for whatever surprises this year is going to bring. This is America's favorite singing competition. I think part of it is the blind audition. I think people really love the concept of just listening to someone sing and being moved by that and turning around for them. And then I think they enjoy seeing the coaches battle against each other for other artists, and the repartee we have between the coaches, I think, is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for us, and I think it's a lot of fun for America to watch.
I was so excited to join this season as a coach on The Voice because I feel like, after 17 seasons, some fresh blood in there might help shake things up. And just coming in with a new perspective and being able to work with these artists kind of on the ground floor is something I'm most excited about. And the times that I've mentored before for the show, I always left feeling inspired myself and wanted to go and work that much harder. And I'm excited to bring what I can to Team Nick. My coaching style is still kind of coming together. I think I'm learning on the go, which has been a really fun process. But I've tried to approach it that I'm a teammate for them. As much as I'm going to coach them and give them advice and help them along the way, I want them to feel comfortable to be vulnerable, to feel that pressure, which is real, because all that can be used for good in the performance and actually to get up there and do your best. And I've got experience from my early days on Broadway, my career with my brothers, songwriting career, and film career, that I can use all those different aspects to give some real perspective, kind of a 360 view of what it means to be an artist. This season is so exciting overall. You've got Kelly back, John, Blake, myself. Already our chemistry is coming together, and I'm having fun on set, and I think people are going to have fun watching at home. But you got some amazing talent this year. I'm always blown away by the level, the caliber of talent on this show, but I feel like this year is one of the best, if not the best. And I think audiences at home are going to be really blown away by season 18 of The Voice. My strategy when I'm picking team members is about trying to just get hit right between the eyes with that voice that stands out. The beauty of this show is that the blind auditions are truly blind auditions, and you don't know what the person looks like. You don't know their story. All you hear is that voice, and if you really just sit there and listen to it, it'll lead your hand to that button or not. And I think I've assembled a really strong team of people that really blew me away in a 90-second blind audition. I'm listening for a story in their voice. I unfortunately, we don't get that setup story before they sing, but sometimes you can hear it in the voice, that true artistry of someone that uses their life and all their experiences and channels that during the performance. And I think, the fact that I'm a singer and an actor, I do that often. I take some of my character work and put it into my singing and vice versa. I'm a songwriting front. And so I'm really excited to just hear those voices that tell a story from the minute you hear them. Three other coaches are really phenomenal. They've obviously been doing this for a little while now. Blake, having been doing this since the beginning, has that real perspective, and he kind of knows exactly what to say to get the artist. And then from there, he's got a lot of heart. I think he genuinely cares about the artists that he works with, and even the artists that he doesn't work with that he maybe wanted to, and he wants to see these people succeed and also have fun in the process, in the same way that he clearly has a lot of fun. Kelly is amazing. She's a ball of energy, and as an admirer of hers for a long time, having watched her for many years and loved her work, it's surreal to be sitting next to her and to just hear her perspective. Her vocal technique, her advice is really, I think, phenomenal, and she's obviously got the training and the years of experience to be able to really speak to the importance of technique as a vocalist. And John is a legend, obviously, and it's amazing to be sitting next to him and he's competitive as well. You can tell he's deeply competitive when it comes to this competition. I think the fact that he's won a few times now has him a little confident going into this season, but we'll see what happens. I knew pretty early on. I think I was singing before I could even talk. So performing and singing and writing music was just a natural fit. And I'm not really good at anything else. So I pretty much had to stick to this, and thankfully it worked out and people believed in me along the way. But I love this, and I find that even now, 16, 17 years into my professional music career, I'm still learning something every day. And that's the value of doing this show at this moment in my life and my career, is that it's another chance to throw myself into a world that I've never been in before and just grow and learn in the same way that all these artists will with their time on the show. I think I'm hoping to gain some perspective, some inspiration. I think if I had done a show like The Voice, it wouldn't have worked out well for me. I was fortunate to have a career where I had a lot of ups and downs and people along the way that helped me get better. So if I can compile all that advice that I had over my, many years of doing this now and help somebody along the way in what is kind of a tough setting. A competition like this, it's a lot of pressure, and you only get really that one shot. So it's so important to show up prepared and kind of have all your ducks in a row, and hopefully I can help in that way. And I think what I'm hoping to take away is just the experience of watching someone truly grow and get better along the way. And if I have something to do with that, that'd be great. If it's not, then best of luck to them. I think after so many seasons, the reason this is America's favorite singing competition is because it truly has a lot of heart, and you get to watch two people, the coach and the artist, work together in a way that you really don't see on any other show. The pressure is actually taken off by the coaches and not applied by the coaches, which is a really nice angle and something that I think people enjoy seeing. They love to watch people working together to get better, and The Voice does that. And along the way, it's also very funny. There's lots of fun, and the banter between the coaches is kind of magical when it gets going, and not something that really exists anywhere else on TV.
Where is the buzz?
Where is the buzz? You said was mine, oh mine.